Hello everyone, welcome to the garden. Wednesday the 22nd of October. It's been a lovely day, just clouded over now and it's about 11 degrees. I've got a hoodie on but I could have got away with taking it off because I've been grafting today. Right, this video is about Musa Basjoo and Ensette Heniba and Ensette Morellii and what we're going to do with them over winter. It's not a full-on, this is how you overwinter these plants video, because that's been done to death. Every man and his dog's doing them, has done them, and is still doing them as well. I keep getting, keep seeing notifications and watch this on YouTube and someone's made another one. You know, you've got a few options with both of them, and for me, it's quite simple. Musa Basjoo, you either leave it, it's root hardy, come back next year, you feed it well, you get good sized plants, or you protect the pseudo stem. Simple as that. And whatever method, you know, stick canes in, fleece, straw, land drains, as commonly known as the Shane Bilson method. And then with Ensette, dig them up, dry store them, because there's a lot of water in them plants and they weigh, when they get big, like this one. And as I found out with that Heniba last year, the big Heniba we had, they are seriously heavy. So yeah, dig them up, drain a lot of that, let that water run out, trim the roots, and then dry store them, or stick them in a pot that is just bigger than the plant and put them in somewhere like a conservatory or something like that. There is another option, which is to quarter it and propagate it. I wouldn't bother with Morellii because they're 10 a penny and it just takes up space, you know, because them quarters in pots quite big. It takes up a lot of valuable propagating space. Heniba, on the other hand, and Monte Balladii, yeah, that is worth the effort because they're not the easiest plants to get hold of. So for me, there's a couple of things you need to consider when you're overwintering. And a real big key point for me is you want to be overwintering these plants for the shortest possible time. So why? Because when I take the Ensettes out, I've got big gaps in my garden. You know, a garden isn't just for summer. I want to enjoy it for as long as possible. So I want this here in my garden for as long as possible. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps. One of them won't make that much difference. And I'll just look at that. I mean, that structure in the garden is going to go. And so, you know, the ricinus and a few other plants are going to disappear, but I want it all here as long as possible. And then the other thing is, you know, if you're protecting Basjoos, you've got these unnatural looking structures scattered around your garden as well, which is, you know, if you can kind of make them look a bit funky, I suppose, but yeah. And then the other thing to consider is what you're doing to these plants to overwinter them is not that natural, is it? And you know, you always run the risk of of rot setting in and stuff like that, you know, things going wrong. It's not entirely risk-free, although for the most part it does work. I did lose that big Heniba last year, and I know what I did wrong. I left too much root on, too much moisture in there, so it just rotted off. I've also had Ensette, big Ensette in the cellar, all nicely drained out, dead dry, nicely, you know, just dry stored. And then in that winter of 22, 23, it obviously got way too cold in the cellar and that saw them off. So there is always an element of risk. So you need to be doing this for the shortest possible time. So aside from how do you overwinter, which, like I said, there's loads of information out there, the other big question is when. When do you start the overwintering process? No matter what it is, but when do you do it? Now, right now, October the 22nd, I can see this weekend, I'm going to get 4 degrees for a very brief period, Sunday morning. And then it comes up 6 and warms up again. And then there's even nights next week where it's 10 degrees, nighttime temperatures. I can see that up to the 4th of November. It's a bit unstable with low pressures and stuff like that, a lot of rain, weather fronts coming in. I've not really looked beyond that at the moment. I've got a good 2-week window. So I'm not going to do anything. You know, the Henibas, I'm going to avoid the frost, but I have been caught out in the past with Basjoo where we've had a light frost, but it might have just crisped the leaves off a bit, but it won't touch that pseudo stem. Remarkably hardy, that, and I'll talk about some of the Basjoo, and not winter just gone, the winter before. We just totally got away with it with no protection, but it was quite a mild winter. We still had frost though. So for me, yeah, I'm not going to do anything at the moment, but what I will say is just make sure you're prepared if you're going to use straw, fleece, land drains, whichever method. Make sure you've got the right size pots for your Ensette. You've got a little bit of compost there, all ready to go. You know, and these Ensette, they come out dead easy anyway. It's not like, I mean, I can have this out in 10 minutes, you know, trench spade round it. It's the bit after with this one where it's like trying to move, I don't know, a dead weight. So anyway, enough talking. What I'm going to do is just have a walk around the garden, look at the different plants, how big they are, because I think that is something you've got to consider, the size of the plant, how big they are, and I'll let you know what I'm going to do to each of our Musas, Musa Basjoos, and Ensette, Morellii and Hiniba. Right, let's take a look. So I'm right at the bottom of the garden now, the cold bit. And there's some Musa Basjoo down here. Let's have a, get a better look at the stems there. Yeah, I'm going to protect them. Probably 1, 2, 3. There's quite a few in there. I tend not to bother with sort of under a couple of foot. They're all sort of 3 foot. And there's a little bit of a group over that side. I'll squeeze my camera in. You might just be able to see them there. Yeah, so these, oh, camera's stuck under the leaves. Oh, quite a straightforward one that, just chuck a load of straw on and then cut all the leaves off and stick some land drains on them. Quick look at that big tree fern. Sun's just breaking through the fronds there. But on the other side of this, we have Hiniba, which is about, well, over 2 metres. So that's an easy one, that. It's probably about 6, 7 inches across at the base, maybe a bit wider. So yeah, just dig that up, cut all the leaves off, dig it up, trim the roots and stick it in a pot. Job done. So this Hiniba went in at the same time as the one I've just looked at. It's getting on close on 3 metres now, and it's probably double the thickness at the base. So yeah, same thing with that. Cut all the leaves off, dig it up, trim the roots, stick it in a pot and not water it till spring. That's the other thing I forgot to mention previously, because this one was just put in this bed as a bit of a filler, where I put Berinda papyriferous CS 1046 and there's Sonchus in there as well, and the soil level has dropped quite considerably, so when the Hiniba comes out I will give that a good top up. Yeah, the squirrels have been going crazy in there. Yeah, so this plant next year will go into the same position as the Hiniba that we grew. That was absolutely huge last year. And there's Ensette Morellii in that spot. And we'll take a look at that one in a minute. But yeah, this, once it's been overwintered, this will go into that spot. And hopefully we can achieve the same kind of result as we did last year. Now, if I swing round, I have got some rather large Musa Basjoo here. Gonna have to do a bit of work here. If I move around, there's a lot of canners as well, which have gone absolutely crazy. So yeah, and round the back of that, it's a bit open at the moment because I've just took out Phylostachys nigra, and I'm going to trim the Phygiesia scabrida. That's round the back. Going to open it up, plant another Berinda papyrifera in there. But this one, so this had land drains on it last year. Both the big main stems there. The year before, we didn't do anything with it, and it just got through all winter, and we had -5 as well. Admittedly, this end of the garden has got a nice microclimate, so that'll be the reason why. that wouldn't have happened at the bottom of the garden. I have had Melianthus major flower up here as well a few years ago. So just to give you an idea of the difference between here and at the bottom end of the garden. But yeah, they are really tall now. They're getting, the pseudo stem itself is probably 2.5 meters. So yeah, I want to preserve that for sure. So this is the biggest onset in the garden. I'm actually stood quite a distance away from it at the moment just to get it all in. Hello, Bob. I have got another smaller onset knocking about. So this plant, just for sort of perspective, this is what I call a year 3 plant. So bought it 1 year, kept it in a pot. The year after I planted it, it was actually in the spot that the first Heniba we looked at, overwintered in a pot in the conservatory last year. So this is like year 3 outside, and it is absolutely massive. It's probably about the same size as the Heniba went to, width-wise, maybe a bit smaller. So yeah, that's, yeah, I'm going to cut all the leaves off, trim the roots. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might dry store this. I'm not sure how practical it is to get in a pot and keep in the conservatory. Plus space is at a premium as well. And I can easily create another one of these next year. If that was an Heniba, I'd be propagating it this year. So these plants had land drains on them last year and they've done all right, so they'll get the same treatment. I'll take that leaf off pretty soon because it's looking a bit tatty, and the rest of it actually looks all right. So the last of our clumps of Musa Basjoo, worth having a look at just because of the Halloween theme that surrounds them. So my partner Tracy, who's been in the videos a few times, she's a tutor. She's actually tutoring right now and playing with the smoke machine. So yeah, this is like just outside her tutoring room as well, and these clumps of Basjoo are doing really well. She has been known to hang plastic bananas off them, but yeah, these will be getting the same treatment. But we'll decorate these a little bit as well. So stick the land drain tube over them, somewhat over the top, and then just laughing at all the stuff that's going on around me. Yeah, and then sort of decorate them a little bit. I mean, if it was this time of the year, we'd probably have ghostly masks on them. So that's what we're going to do. Massive onset morellii, dig it up, drain the water out of it, tip it upside down for a while, and then probably going to dry store it because that's just going to be too big in conservatory. And then all the other Henibas, there's another morellii that I missed out there. They're all being pots in the conservatory. Musa Basjoo, most of them, except the really small ones, will have land drain on them. Now, that is the land drain stuff that I'm going to be using. This is 150mm perforated land drain. That's about 3 foot length, so that'll be good for something just over 3 foot. They are 150mm, and a big Musa Basjoo pseudo stem it'll struggle to get over that. So what you do, just build it up with straw to the point where that can slide on, and then on the top, plant pot. We have some black saucers, so we just put them on a little bit of tape either side, and they stay on. Just keeps it a bit more dry inside, because it's not just the cold; it's the combination of cold and wet that does the damage. And that little saucer on top, that stops too much moisture getting in, and the perforations allow a little bit of air circulation, because you don't want to wrap these up in plastic in a totally blank them off from fresh air, because that can cause problems as well. Right, I hope the video has been helpful. For more in-depth video, more information on like how to overwinter and more in-depth videos, George Lowther, George's Jungle Garden, Yorkshire Chris, and a few others, they've made some great videos over the years. Just go on YouTube, put Overwintering in Ensette, or just go to George's Jungle Garden and look through his videos. Any comments on you know, what we're planning to do, or if you just want some more information, and if I can help, I will do. But yeah, I think that's about it now. Done a lot of talking in this video, which isn't like me, is it? But yeah, I hope it's proved helpful to somebody. Yeah, that's it. Cheerio.